You want to go over your case that the Wilsons are toast?
Yeah. Okay, so y'all know we've had a feud with the Wilsons for a while now. They have been extremely disrespectful to me and my dad since the beginning. And they are generally pieces of shit. And their whole shtick is that they're assholes who are better than everybody. But recently, something that we've known for a long time, Brittany Venti's known for a long time, Tree of Logic has known for a long time, the real ass bitches have known for a long time, is that they are not the tried Christians that they've made themselves out to be. Andrew and Rachel Wilson made the fatal flaw of pretending they're better than everybody while hiding a deep, dark secret, which is that Rachel Wilson has 3 baby daddies, has 4 children born out of wedlock, and the only child that she had born within wedlock was killed under her supervision. That's like the absolute fact of the matter. Was it her fault? I don't know, but she took custody away from her son's biological father, and he was killed in her custody. So that's the deep, dark backstory behind the Wilsons. If they had been straight up about this from the beginning, this would not have been a problem. But because they have an ego issue, ego, as G-Mommy would say, and they had to do this LARP that they were better than everybody else, they're true Christians, and they're living the real Christian life, and they are trad and everything else, and they've rejected the ways of society. This being exposed by this girl, Charlie, on the Whatever podcast, has gone absolutely viral.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
Don't talk about my wife. You shut your fucking mouth.
And more people, normies, are being made aware of Andrew and Rachel Wilson and just how absolutely cringe and what would you say, egotistical, hypocritical, and just like horrendous people they are. They're not funny, they're not charming, they're not good looking. The only thing they had was, we're better than other people because we're anti-feminist and we're pro-man. And they've been exposed as being the same scum that society has largely created. Ultra-feminist, single mom marrying.
Doing all the things they scream at others not to do.
Absolutely. Accusing exes of domestic violence when there's no record of it. Of horrendous abuse when there's no record of it, taking kids away from their biological fathers, having stepfathers in the home when an abuse and actually death follows. Like, it's all just a complete and utter disaster. And if they hadn't been such assholes to people, then maybe this wouldn't have been such a big deal.
True.
But they are assholes. They are 100% assholes. I will never forget when Andrew Wilson made fun of that deaf girl on the podcast.
When you make fun of me, you look at me in my eyes.
And I hate to be like, whatever, a girl's girl, because usually that stuff is crap, but like, there was a deaf girl with a speech impediment who was like a comedian, who was a really cute girl, like a nice girl on the Whatever podcast. And she got kicked off because Brian didn't like her saying the word cracker, which is ridiculous. He was like, oh, that's TOS, you gotta go. And she was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, okay, I'll go, but like, I didn't know that I could say the word cracker to refer to white people. And Andrew Wilson was like, and I wanted to kill him when I saw that video. And I think that I have never had any sympathy for Andrew Wilson after that. He's a horrible person. Rachel Wilson was absolutely nasty to me the first time I ever interacted with her when I was 19 years old. I was in their live chat because my dad had a debate on the Crucible, and I was being perfectly nice, and she told me she hopes me and my dad go to hell and that we drown in a river and like we're disgusting people. I was 19 years old. I was in their chat for the first time. I had no idea what the hell was going on. Grown woman, by the way, trad wife, tells me in the chat that she hopes me and my dad die and go to hell, and like calls us like fat and gross. So fuck both of you. I am feasting on your downfall. Now, I think that this is the downfall of the Wilsons because I don't think you can come back from this. Once you've established yourself as representatives of like hating single moms and hating women with multiple baby daddies and hating women who introduce stepfathers in the home to be exposed as a
Hating the way
couple.
women manipulate courts.
Hating when women manipulate courts. Hating when women take their children away from their biological fathers.
Put them in dangerous situations.
And put them in dangerous situations. And extolling the
Hating
data.
having a bossy wife.
Hating having a bossy wife,
Hating
right.
have a masculine wife.
Hating women who accuse their exes of abuse, right?
Slamming people who have plastic surgery when they did that.
Right. Well, veneers, but yeah, right.
That's plastic surgery.
Cosmetic surgery. Yeah.
So there ain't nothing wrong with their teeth. Lying about your past.
Lying about your past, hiding your past, trying to make yourself look better. What do they say? Not that Rachel was claiming to be a born again virgin, but like, you know, reformed hoes, right? Oh,
Yeah.
That's all crap. Well, you married one.
Yeah.
I don't think they can come back from this. They've been on. This story has been featured on World Star Hip Hop.
And the thing is, they
Everybody
never
on Twitter is
repented
making
from
fun
it.
of it. Yeah, sorry.
They
go ahead.
tried to cover it up. They never said, we did this and we changed our ways. They just did it, kept doing it, are doing it now, and are
Correct.
just hoping no one notices.
Correct. And they're doubling down because now Andrew is claiming things like Rachel's first baby daddy ripped half her tongue out, and that's why she had to get away from him. He was so abusive. Her
I don't
side
know
of the
if
story.
he says it's the first one.
Well, he said her first husband, but she was only married once before him. So he could mean the biological dad.
He means the biological dad.
Okay, so he means the biological dad of the
Kid who died.
kid who died. But Rachel has never claimed that guy was abusive. She has claimed that her first...
In court, she has.
That's true, actually. That's true,
First
actually.
guy was like crazy or something.
First guy was crazy. She said he left her and he was like mentally ill or whatever.
Yeah.
The second guy who she actually did marry, Brian, I think his name was, or something, she had a kid within wedlock with him. And then he filed for
Don't marry
divorce.
an older woman. Don't marry
an older woman. Exactly. She's 5 or 6 years older than him, something
Don't
like
get
that.
a woman pregnant out of wedlock, but she did
Right.
twice, right?
Yes, she's had 4 kids out of wedlock, according to her own Twitter timeline. Okay, that according to the timeline of her Twitter post, she's had 4 kids out of wedlock, and only one within wedlock who later died in her custody. And this is just true. After she took him away from his biological father, and Andrew said he was his new dad. And Andrew has referred to himself as that kid's dad many times when he's not his dad, and that kid died in his and Rachel's care. So
And the dad fought for him.
the dad fought for custody. The dad had custody of the kid, it looks like, on weekends and holidays, something like that. And the dad was heartbroken when the kid died, and he went to court and he tried to prosecute the 14-year-old who got in a car accident with his son and killed him. You know, manslaughter or whatever. And Rachel, you know, they interviewed them outside of the courtroom. The kid's biological father was crying and obviously heartbroken, and Rachel didn't shed a tear, looked like, from the interview. She was just concerned with the optics and wanted to seem like she was letting the kid off easy, the 14-year-old.
Which was convenient because
it's convenient because, you
nobody
know.
gets blamed then.
Right. Nobody gets blamed. Oh, yeah, I let my 10-year-old son hang out with a 14-year-old delinquent that we had recently told him not to hang out with, but all of a sudden we let him go hang out with him again. I wonder why. Anyways, so I really think they can't come back from this, because here's my thought, right? If something like this is exposed, first of all, you're 2 grown adults. You're like 40 years old. You should be able to deal with your past, right?
Yeah.
The fact that this triggers you so much, and it obviously did trigger Andrew. That's why the clip went viral, because he spurged out when she brought it up.
Yeah.
First of all, you revealed a weakness, which is that you're a 40-year-old lolcows who can't handle the fact
You've
that
been
they
in
have
this
a
situation
past.
for years and years, and you've never come up with a strategy.
Exactly, right. You've never come up with a code. All you do is...
Other than trying to cover it up, lie, and tell other people they're horrible if they bring up your past.
Right, exactly. Oh, people can't change? Well, that's what you said. You said hoes can't be reformed. You said don't marry a single mom. You know what I mean? Yada, yada, yada.
You said step parents are having step parents are dangerous.
Right.
It's a dangerous situation. You said men get the short end of the stick in court.
Right. You said women shouldn't take their kids away from their biological fathers. So what I'm trying to say is, if you wanted to fix this situation, you could, but you'd have to be different people than who the Wilsons are. You know what I mean? It would be relatively simple to say, yeah, you know what? We've been hiding this.
You know, the parallel is crazy Mikey Voris over at Church Militant. He's going on and 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 on about homosexuality in the church.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, and this is the problem, he's hiding the fact that he was super in the homosexual world for 20 years
Yep.
prior. Now, if he had said from the outset, the reason it's bad is because I was in it, okay, but he covered it up till it blew up in his face, and then he was DONE done.
Right, right. Absolutely. I changed the YouTube to ThorpTube, by the way. Decrypting.
And that's like being exposed being a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Blatant hypocrisy.
Blatant hypocrisy. But you could have, like, but I don't know if you can really have a comeback when you're exposed as that much of a hypocrite, because
your whole brand is screaming at people from a point above them.
A superiority, yeah.
So now you could do it. You'd have to be humble. You'd have to be humble.
You'd have to be genuinely humble and apologize for pretending you were superior to others.
You live on ad hominem attacks.
Yeah.
You get one back, you don't like it. Well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Now, if you want to talk about issues, okay. But you got to be humble. Eat some humble pie, bitch.
Yeah. So and that's why I think I think we both agree that this is the end of the Wilsons, because they would have to completely rebrand to continue. Because I don't see how his own fan base isn't going to be like, well, you kind of sold us a false bill of goods here.
Yeah.
You made it seem like you had 5 kids with this woman, and you guys were all living a trad lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's why we backed you, because like we believed your story, but that's just not even true at all.
Shit.
Yeah. And now you're doing the stuff that you told all of us not to do, like accusing a woman's exes of domestic violence and abuse with no proof or evidence to clear her name from being a hoe. Like, you're just openly doing that to cope for her hoedom. Now, his followers aren't too bright, but I think even they could see through that and say, man, this really isn't what I signed up for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His followers are, these sort of like nasty people who want to shit on people who have like difficult backstories or whatever.
Yep.
And some of it is somewhat valid, this whole like reformed virgin thing or whatever. But like they take it too far. But the whole shtick is that we are looking down at other people and criticizing them.
Yeah.
But if it's revealed that you're on their level,
You're not a debater.
Don't see. What do you mean you're not a debater?
He doesn't debate. He just does ad hominem attacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Mackenzie says, I don't understand though. This information was exposed by Tree and Venti over a year ago. Has something else come out about them? It's the same information. It's just that Tree and Venti weren't really big enough. And the story didn't get out enough because they quashed it. But when this Charlie girl just said that Rachel has 3 baby daddies to Andrew Wilson on the Whatever podcast live, he couldn't control that. And he freaked out, and so it was clipped and it went viral. She's not really saying anything new. She's just,
right.
It was the kill shot.
Right.
Because when it's live, you can't edit it out. You can't control it. And he got so angry at her, which was the wrong move. But that's what a hypocrite does when they get exposed. So.
Then that went super viral.
It did.
The Venti stuff didn't.
The Venti stuff didn't, but the Charlie Three Baby Daddies quote went super viral. It took a little while to cook, actually. You know, it took like 2 weeks or so to cook, but then people started reposting it because also...
And that on top of the pickle jar thing, which happened.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's kind of silly, but it is kind of like fake masculinity.
Exactly.
At its worst.
Yeah.
So those two things combined, you think are lethal.
I think it's lethal. I don't think the pickle jar thing was lethal in and of itself. It certainly is like a meme. Laughable, especially his reaction of getting angry about it. It's like, dude, anybody who thinks this guy is cool, like, you're on another wavelength. But cringe. But yeah, I just think it's the kill shot. I was gonna say something else.
It's like the Destiny thing. A lot of the shit was known about him, but then it's boom, came front and center, the court case, and he's done.
Well, he's a liberal who was, you know, pretending he cared about women and stuff. And whether this stuff with Pixie was...
But all I'll say is, all the differences. Destiny was more or less doing that openly.
On a certain level, yes.
But it wasn't compatible with what he was, like, the position of being on the left.
True.
But he was kind of riding the line, and then it just got exposed through a number of things, the wife leaving, all this stuff, that, like, yeah, your solutions are disastrous in your own life.
Yeah.
But even that is not really hypocrisy. Because, like, no one's surprised that this shit went on.
That's true. Destiny.
But it was quashed, like, from getting big.
Yeah.
But he's done now.
Well, it's a bit of hypocrisy, though. Not as much, but it's a bit of hypocrisy because he was doing this whole, like, liberal, like, I care about women. And
I care about children.
Abortion and children and women's rights and women's sexual protection, etc. And respecting women. And then it's sort of exposed, which everybody kind of knew, but it was, like, blown up, that he kind of has, like, a sort of a sex cult. I hate to use a Rubyism, but, like...
He hates women, has no respect for sexuality.
He does not have respect for women
children,
or sexuality. Yeah, right.
Which was all known.
Right. It was known, but it's similar to the Wilson thing, but it's not as much hypocrisy as the Wilsons have.
Yeah. It's not as hypocritical.
Yeah, because everybody kind of knows liberal guys are degenerate, you know, sex guys, and everybody kind of knew that Destiny had sex with women so that they could be on stream with him. Everybody kind of knew that, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, I think it's over for the Wilsons. We'll see what happens, but...
It's a contradiction more than hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying?
Contradiction of what he says you should do with women?
Well, it's a contradiction of the idea that the left is pro-woman.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
Is, like, respectful of women.
Yeah.
Whereas the Wilsons thing is just straight hypocrisy, which is more offensive.
True. And worse for your career.
Because the defense of Destiny, which I offered him, was... You were doing this openly, so...
Yeah.
It's not really any victims here.
Yeah.
But in the Wilsons case, like, they were lying.
They were lying, yeah.
So you betrayed your audience. But anyway.
And, you know, and I just want to say it is especially delicious to me because they have always told us, like, Andrew has always had this thing about you, which is like, you laughed about the allegations against you, you explained them, you leaned into it, whatever, you know what I mean? This criticism. You should have just quashed it and not talked about it.
Right.
And now it has come back to fucking bite him in the asshole. Yeah. And I'm loving every minute of it. I have no sympathy.
You could say to a fault.
Mm-hmm. But that's the way it is.
But I took the hit. I took the hit at the beginning for doing that.
Yeah.
And they can't hit me now.
Absolutely.
But he did this other thing, and can't come back.
And another thing I want to say.
Start being honest. I mean, you can, but you got to eat a lot of humble pie.
Absolutely.
Their whole brand is never never being honest or conciliatory. It's like mad dog craziness. So hope they enjoy their money from their quick grift.
Yeah, I think that grift is over. And just the last thing I wanted to say before we get into the debate was the Wilsons have pissed off no end of people.
Yeah.
And that is partially why this blew up.
Oh, the fall
Because
is going to be...
They pissed off tons of like people he debated with because he's so fucking rude.
Yeah.
So there are all these people, you know, and some of them, like, I don't know if I necessarily back Red Pill Coach or whatever. There was this guy who, like, I'm declaring
Well,
war
Alex
against
BWF was super
Alex
nice
BWF
to him.
was
Sarah
nice to him.
Most recently
Yeah, he
steps on everyone's head.
steps on everyone's head on the way up. And then, like, when something's exposed, oh shit, they're going to blow it up as much as they can. They're going to repost, they're going to post about it, they're going to broadcast about it. And, like, suffer. I don't care.
No, I love it.
I don't care. I'm enjoying, I'm feasting.